Hey guys, Alan Bishop with the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute here in my current distillery, Spirits of French Lick. Today's episode is when everything goes fucking wrong in your distillery, how do you handle it? So one of the tricks to being head distiller, head alchemist, master distiller, bullshit, or whatever you want to call it, is figuring out how to work around problems. And so we've had a problem the past couple days here. Part of that problem is related to the fact that it has been incredibly hot here in southern Indiana for June. The master head, one of the master heads on our chiller outside actually went down, so we're operating the chiller on about half power. Now the problem with that is that chiller is our entire cooling source, short of this tank, which is a 2,000 gallon cold water tank, which is jacketed. Glycol from the chiller travels through the jacket on the outside and chills this thing down. That cold water tank is how we actually cool the condensers for the stills, as well as the jacket for our corn cooker, which is 600 gallon corn cooker. All right, so the other thing the glycol is chill the jackets on these fermenters. So as you can see, we've got down. Sometimes we're running 3 processes, stripping still, doubling still, and the cook, plus those fermenters, at least 3 at a time. Now, that means that until they can get this piece in for the chiller, which could be 3 days to a week, who knows how long, especially with supply chain issues being what they are, we're gonna have to find a way to limp through all this stuff. So part of that strategy is going to be obviously only running 1 of the 2 stills at a time, and running the cooker a little bit differently, and running the fermentations a little bit differently. So one of the things that we're going to do here with the cooker in particular is we're going to actually use a little bit of water, which we would normally use to fill the cooker for the cook, to actually drop the temperature as we go through stages. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to hit our 190 mark for our corn and our small grains, hold that for an hour. Typically we then turn on the chiller and the chilling jacket and start dropping the 145 to add our malt. What we're going to do to cheat that system a little bit is we're going to drop about 25 gallons of water into the cooker. It's not going to drop the temperature a whole lot, about 5 to 6 degrees. It's going to take a little bit of the strain off of that chiller outside for sure. Once we get the 145, we put our malt in and we hold our time there. We'll drop another 20 gallons in and see how far that drops us. I suspect it may drop us a little further than 5 degrees there, since we're only going to be at 145 degrees versus 190. From there, we're going to then turn the chiller off. The fermenter's going to set overnight. It's going to have to set overnight and cool off because we're not going to have the cooling power to keep up with everything. So it's not going to hurt anything. And what we're going to do at that point is we're going to have to find a yeast that's very strong, very reliable, that can also take some heat, because there's a good chance that, again, these jackets and subsequently the fermenters are going to get a little bit warm as the fermentation gets up and going, and our glycol might not be able to keep up with it. So we're going to pitch a Kveik strain, which we've used here before when the electricity's gone out, to save some fermentations. We can pitch that strain at 110 degrees, and it can ferment as high as 110 degrees. It does throw a little different flavor profile. We're okay with that. We actually like the profile that it throws, and we'll be able to make some very unique single barrels out of that. But I'll take you out here and show you the chiller and show you what we got going on with it, because we're just trying to keep it as cool as we can and hold on to as much cooling water as what we possibly can. So, hey, leave that on for a second. I'll turn it up. This is literally what our chiller guy told us to do. You know, throw a sprinkler on there and hope for the best. So these are the kind of things in a commercial distillery when you're trying to figure out how to cope with whatever situation life throws at you. And the goal is just to keep it running and also keep an eye on spirit quality. So that's all I got for today. I thought you guys might appreciate that, and love y'all. Have a good one.